You know, I was all prepared to come into this all, like, pessimistic and critical, but I have to say that considering the extent of the incredible plan that the 5 leaders put together, and considering our attitude to all that, this is actually going incredibly.
I mean, it turns out that you can, in fact, defeat God with the power of friendship.
You knew, right?
But yeah, I don't know why this section is here, because that's it. We're done. We're at the final boss now.
It's a big climactic final boss staircase. It's like, it's the law. You have to do it. You have to.
I mean, sure, but you didn't have to put encounters on it.
Didn't you? I think you did. I think they didn't dare not put random encounters on literally the screen leading to the final boss fight.
Anyway, yeah, this is the big one. So do not proceed until you have all of your decks in order, because you are going to need every single card in them.
We're gonna need a lot of Heart of the cards. We're gonna need the heart and soul of the cards.
So, as is appropriate for this dungeon, given that the level designer has ascended to his final form, I think it's important for us to appreciate that we are about to see Sakuraba ascend to his final form.
And it is rightly so.
You know, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it on the final boss.
I mean, not just might as well, you do it. You do it on the final boss. You have to. Like the encounters thing, it's the law. Yep. I don't know what I was expecting. That's a lie, I know exactly what I was expecting. But I guess it turns out what we got is Sakuraba channeling Final Fantasy VI era Nobuo Uematsu.
That's a good description of it, actually, yeah.
And there are worse things to channel.
But, yeah, so here we go. Malpercio, the final one. He is a big, big boy. He is packing 20,000 HP. His base attack is that he gets to attack twice per turn for 2,000 damage.
Yikes.
And we won't talk about his specials, but they're coming, and rest assured, they are not any friendlier.
Can we take a moment to appreciate the restraint in a 2003 era JRPG final boss? Well, final asterisk, having only 20k hit points?
Oh, don't worry, there's a catch to that.
Oh, I'm sure there is. I'm just saying I can't, like, the big occasion that I remember for a JRPG final boss only having 5 digits of health was Final Fantasy IX, which did it as a throwback. Like, it was just a funny thing that, like, haha, the most health you could have on the Super Nintendo was 65535 because binary and stuff. The PlayStation could manage more than that, like Emerald Weapon had 1,000,000 hit points. But all the Final Fantasy IX super bosses just had 65535. As an aesthetic, as a flex, as a throwback. And it was very valid. So I'm just saying, I can appreciate a little bit of restraint on the numerical front.
I mean, to be fair, a good combo, like a really good combo, is, you know, if you, like, get the absolute perfect run of cards, is, what, maybe 4,000 damage? So, that is, I think it's fair that the numbers are fairly low, all things considered.
I mean, the numbers can be inflated, but I don't necessarily mean like, you know, the boss doesn't have a lot of health as a function of how much damage you can do. I just mean that the totals, the numbers involved, are just kept in a sane range, and we're not dealing with like millions for absolutely no reason. Because we all know that that's a thing.
Oh, yeah. So, one of the most important things you can do in this fight is that you actually really, really want to pay attention to your armor cards. Because just due to the sheer nature of how much damage Malpercio can put out, it's way better to take the hit, but with only 3 armor cards, if those armor cards are a triple, and therefore reduce your total damage taken by like 20%.
Yeah, the numbers start working a little bit differently at this scale, I guess. Things being a percentage of stuff.
Yeah, so once you knock about, we'll say it's around like the halfway point or so, he will bust out Seal of Entropy, which will change his element from darkness to something, in this case water. He will then follow this up with a second attack, Dark Arrow. It does 2,400 damage, and it inflicts every single status ailment.
Ah, one of those. That's a classic. I'm trying to remember the name. Like, wasn't there I hate that I can't remember this. Wasn't there a Final Fantasy final boss attack that always does this? Along with one that reduces everybody to 1. Maybe I'm like bizarrely misremembering and conflating a bunch of things. I vaguely remember being very irritated at Safer Sephiroth for doing this kind of thing.
Anyway, we progress a few more turns here, and we now get to see the Catch with his 20,000 HP.
How much healing?
So Enchanted Blade is your standard HP drain attack. You know, he heals back however much damage he does to you. The catch is that, because he is the final boss, how much damage he does to you is somewhere in the neighborhood of minimum about 1,300. And when he chooses to use this attack, he will use it 3 times in a row.
Uh-huh.
There is also, you know, apropos of nothing, absolutely nothing stopping him from using it 3 times on the same person, in which case that person will be dead.
Is that all?
That fucking sucks.
Is that all?
Like, that's just unreasonable. I mean, I guess if he uses it 3 times on the same person and that person fucking dies, then I guess he won't be draining any more health off of them, so that's something.
And if you really want the extra fuck you, he can do that as, like, he can actually use that as the last attack in his on his turn before he does the 3 times Enchanted Blade turn. So you can get hit with it 4 times in a row if you're really feeling spicy.
That's neat. That's an innovation in spite.
Anyway, suffice to say that when the boss can casually just give himself back about 6,000 HP whenever he wants, it's not good.
Yeah. You should, like, prioritize him not being alive, I feel. I feel like his survival represents a tactical suboptimality.
Anyway, please enjoy this look at the game over screen, because it's the first one that I've had in the entire LP.
It's a good time. Wow, it doesn't even say game over, it just goes straight to continue.
Yep. Anyway, yeah, I did that combo with Liu, and I was like, alright, cool, this is a good time to start recording, and yeah, he's dead.
Hey, great Mizudi!
Shrug?
Do me a favor and bind this divine blob of grease.
Easy as pie.
Well, game 1, I guess.
Callus, what are you doing?
I'll be back in a second. Behave yourselves, okay? Melodia! I'm going to pull you out of that pit!
Good luck with that.
Callus!
I guess on reflection, it is kind of on brand for Kaitos to do something completely moronic and counterproductive, as a total surprise to us.
Fee.
So this is like, what, the 6th time we've seen this cutscene now?
It's very important. It was formative, okay? It's not formative if we don't dwell on it endlessly.
Ah, so what you're telling me that it's the magic that turns dreams into reality.
That is exactly what I'm telling you. I'm so glad you're following along.
Who is it?
But you see, we're going to lazily smush the visual metaphors together. This is called writing.
Am I alive? The blood.
I mean, I do have to say,
It's gone.
the writing team has been working overtime since around the start of the plan.
Fee. You're gone. I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive any of you. I'll find you. Find you all, one by one.
No, we did this part already.
Someday. I'll make you pay for this. I'll do whatever it takes.
Although, I mean, to be fair, spite is an excellent motivator.
Who are you?
I think it's less spite and more, you know, like, burning need for vengeance, but
You want power, don't you?
Column A, column B.
I'll give you power. I'll guide you. Forever and ever. One condition. You have to do whatever I say. Deal? Follow me.
See, like I said, it's
Who are
formative.
you? Where are we going?
To meet your guardian, of course. Lady Melodia! Are you alright, milady? Where have you been all this time? I'm fine. It's nothing. I just feel a little hot. Maybe a fever.
It was a side effect of having been dead.
Maybe you've caught a cold. Please, come inside. Okay.
Also, point of order, we are inside.
Lady Melodia?
This is like a lounge. There's a piano.
Oh, you're bleeding.
Congratulations, milady. You have become the true heir to the Duchy of Mira.
The true heir?
What, you didn't think
Yes,
a sudden swerve into a coming of age thing was,
everything you need to know to become a respectable lady
out of place?
the family.
I feel like
Me?
Swerve is underselling this a
Actual
little
Grand
bit.
Duke?
Like I said, the writing team has been working
course.
overtime
And it's
since
not
the
just
start of the
about
last
learning.
video.
You have to acquire appropriate etiquette as expected of a lady.
Yes, you will claim your birthright. I shall see to it.
What?
It's also nice that now that
Did
we've,
you
like,
say something?
killed him and,
I said
you know,
you
finished the
should take
game,
more
we
lessons
finally have a voice
in
to match to
dancing and
Malpercio.
horseback riding, among others.
It's about time. Also, I like that Melodia couldn't tell the difference between Malpercio and Peachy. That speaks real well for the whole, you know, capability thing. Anyway, then all this stuff happened. Do you remember all that stuff?
Those were good times.
I remember that one. It was like 10 minutes ago.
Melodia. Melodia. Can you hear me? I've come for you. Let's go back. Let's go back together.
I'll grant, it is all painfully
Hey
thematic.
now. Let's finish this, Melodia. If you stay here any longer, you'll be trapped forever. Come on! Wake up! I'm not leaving you here alone! Wake up! It's no good. I'm not getting to her.
Honestly, I'm fine
Help
with this
me.
outcome.
Okay?
Like, we can just
Wake
leave
up,
this.
Melodia!
Everything will work out favorably.
Yes, it's working.
Alternatively, we can be
Can you
but
hear
thou
us?
mustard into something resembling
You
catharsis.
can't open your eyes. Just wake up. Please.
Callus? My dear Callus?
See, it's not so funny when someone pulls this on you, is it?
Come on! What's taking him so long?
We can't hold it much longer.
It's fine, just jettison Callus and forget about it.
How does that even work?
Fuck if I know.
Like, does one of them have to jump into Malpercio at that point, and then just, like drag both of them out?
Melodia.
Look, we send the one guy in after the first guy, and then we send the second guy in. And we just keep on sending guys in. Also, why are you all here?
Don't worry. She's all right.
Man, it sure is a good thing that we've completely pacified Malpercio.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it would be awfully inconvenient if he were to do literally anything
Okay.
right now. Also, what
Let's put Malpercio
what happened to
asleep.
her hair?
For good this time.
Well,
Let's
you
give him a
see,
break.
because
Let him suffer.
we've exorcised the Malpercio from her.
None shall escape
So
from
now
destruction.
she's lost her
None,
evil hair.
Not even destruction itself.
Now you're, for the first time, you're seeing the real
All three
Melodia.
holy artifacts have been broken.
Man, we, like,
Could we
reverse Fire Emblem Three Houses her.
allow me? ancient wizards summoned guardians.
I do mean literally reverse Fire Emblem. She's literally gone to having the standard issue Fire Emblem hair now.
My end Magnus, callous Magnus of light, and the power of
I don't know, it's a bit too teal-ish. Like, there's too much green in that blue. Callus is a much more natural Fire Emblem protagonist.
Can you do it?
It is at this point that I'm going to say that I was just starting to get used to this game's habit of never actually saying your name and always blanking on it, because they somehow always manage to just about make the line read work by just writing it in a way that makes sense to have a silence there instead of your name.
Let's do it.
Like that. But then that one Melodia line just now, I was like, what? They just completely forgot. And it's like, it's so close. The solution is right there. There is such a apparent way of doing this, and they just dropped it. So I'm pretty mad about that. Anyway, sure, whatever. Just friendship the magic artifacts back into existence. Great. Cool. I'm fine with this.
cast light upon the darkened earth. Save those lost in despair. O mighty ocean, guide us as we journey through the darkest pit of mind.
And Malpercio really just let all of that happen.
I mean, I guess to be fair, like, he was bound, and then we kind of ripped his soul out when we got Melodia out, so he was just kind of like a big doll at that point, sort of.
I feel your pain. I feel your sorrow.
No, I feel there was a duty here by some writers and some animators
I'm so
to
sorry.
sell this
Now,
at all.
back to the ocean.
And I feel there has been a dereliction. Well, that worked out okay, I guess.
So, is it over?
God
We must
fucking
go.
damn it, Gabari.
We'll be pulled into another dimension.
I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't make you do an escape sequence. That seems like that would have been appropriate for a game of this era.
That would have been very on brand. That, or like, hey, now that you've killed Malpercio, you've accidentally, like, set the universe out of balance, so I'm like actual god, and I'm here to send everything back to the Zero world. Now get ready for the real final boss fight. I feel that might just be an overly particular theory of mine. Anyway, there's those GameCube GPU particle effects. We had to put them somewhere.
I can't help but notice that, like, the islands are conspicuously much further away from Core Hydra now.
When did that happen? Did they all just float slowly back to their normal positions after everyone else just made the casual hop over? really wanting for an explanation of the physics of all this.
The tape clouds. They're gone. Is this the real thing? Is this the Earth?
I mean, you've been below the taint clouds. You know what's down there. Like, remember?
Oh, the island!
Anyway, this all seems, fine.
Everything's gonna be fine. We stopped Malpercio.
Why are they falling down to the ground? They should be, like, floating up into the air. Come on, this is all completely wrong.
Well, they did say that we had used the last of the island's powers, which were keeping them afloat.
No, I mean the people on the islands. If you're standing on that and it's falling, you basically would end up floating.
They'd be falling with it. It should be the same thing as like an elevator falling.
Something like that. Anyway, this all also seems safe.
You know, I have the strangest feeling that I've seen something like this before and it didn't go so hot.
Yeah, maybe I'm just imagining it. I feel like there's been a lot of us imagining being familiar with things lately. I think we're just worrying too much.
Everyone in one piece?
I mean, we are. I can't say too much about everybody else on the islands, but sure, yeah. Great job, team.
Yeah. This all went, well, there was an outcome. All's well that ends well, right, Sonic?